Well, a very good morning, everybody, for Sunday, the 18th of April. So, synoptic picture, very slack winds over the UK at the moment, high pressure just out to the south of Devon, but a frontal line just sort of over Ireland and the northwestern tip of Scotland, not really coming our way particularly quickly, but enough to throw a little bit of moisture at us to cause us a little bit of top cover. As we go into the next couple of days, you can see that the front line continues to sort of falter. We don't really seem to get many fronts until maybe something a bit later in the week. Tuesday looking like maybe less soarable as such. Looking at the synoptic picture then for today in more detail, over the UK, 30 kilometre visibility, the freezing level now a little bit higher than it certainly was last week, generally somewhere between 3,000 and 6,000 feet. Some evidence here that we might see some sort of poorer visibility later with a bit more cloud, but I'm not really expecting that to come until much later in the day. But the main thing is here that we might see some top cover spilling in off the coast of Wales. Those winds, as said, very, very light indeed. And today is an example of our use of westerly preference. And I encourage you to sort of just keep an eye on that, because if we do get days which are 2 or 3 knot easterly, I'm not going to go easterly, because otherwise you're going to have a close inspection of the trees and all the pigeon nests. So westerly, as we are going to go today, but at flying heights, maybe a touch of easterly, but mostly variable, less than 5 knots. Very nice. The satellite picture of the UK shows sort of thin, sort of high level cloud over us, sort of overcast more up towards the coast of Wales and into Ireland. The further west you go, you might see some more cumulus, but as you go even further west, you might see more top cover sort of breaking down that heating, and over sort of the Welsh hills and mountains too. But over us today, very nice indeed, and as we can sort of see a slight northerly drift with the wind currently. Top temperature today of around 13 degrees, and the public forecast, as I said, showing very, very light easterlies, and that's sort of very similar for tomorrow, so expect sort of a rerun there. So yeah, very, very light easterlies and sunny intervals all day. Bit chilly this morning, there was still a frost, but a top temperature today of around 13 degrees on GFS, dew points probably just above freezing. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 6 degrees and a dew point of 1. And we can start to see, hopefully the dew point temperature will start to split a little bit more, and that'll start to improve. That's the picture outside, sort of high level cirrus, but not lots and lots of it, just enough that sometimes the sun gets a little bit weaker. We're gridded on 2.7 at the moment, launch point is ready to go out. And currently at Farnborough, we have variable at 1 knot with a temperature of 5 degrees. And almost no real significant weather today, no April showers, nothing like that. And as we look at the soaring forecast now, David talking about, I think this was issued sort of last night, ignore this update, David doesn't always remember to update the headline. Yeah, light winds, north-northwest to north, with some thin top cover, and as he's sort of saying there, west of 1 west, better chance of cumulus, which we'll see in the soundings in a moment. And yeah, either blue to 4,500 or shallow Q. Reasonably good tomorrow as well, but yeah, maybe a bit of a pause later in the week. Top meteo currently showing the predicted distance as that. Top meteo started to come a little bit more normal now. So best task region once again out towards the West Country and maybe up through just east of sort of Bath Gap area. Good into Wales, but just be aware a bit more top cover in that area. Much more blue up towards sort of east of Bicester and up towards Cambridgeshire. Looking at the soundings, at 11 o'clock, it may be soarable here locally to around 2,500 to 3,000 feet. By lunchtime, though, we're starting to see blue up to sort of 3,500 feet out towards sort of Salisbury and down into the West Country, looking at maybe 3,500 to 4,000 feet. And it does by sort of 1, 2 o'clock get even better around here. So maybe 4,000 feet here, maybe 4,500 to 5,000 feet out towards the West Country. A little bit of too much cloud as we get sort of up towards Exeter on the coastline there. Maybe a convergence again. I don't have convergence viewer on top meteo, but yeah, chance of sea breezes on the, as you might expect, on the eastern coasts, and reasonable cumulus up towards sort of up to the Mind, up to Brecon, all of that area. So yeah, generally sort of west, I'd say, of about Middle Wallop, we're probably more likely to see cumulus. And ending today, well, that's 6 o'clock, still soarable. Chance of some sea air encroaching from the south. Haven't really seen too much of that likely to hit Lasham. It's not powerful enough at this time of year, I hope. But yeah, still reasonably good. And the sort of cumulus going to blue later. But yeah, dying off in the west near Windward coasts. Okay, cumulus amounts. See cumulus sort of to our west and southwest, with a bit of top cover. Where there's not top cover, more chance of Q. Maybe, as you can see here, a little bit too much Q just south or just west of Yeovil, and almost spread out a little bit down towards Plymouth. But yeah, at least there is cloud. And yeah, so I reckon we probably will see the odd wisp here, haze cap. But yeah, probably you'll need to go further west for actually to be properly cumulus. And we can see that on the soundings, because at 1 o'clock at Lark Hill, we can see sort of chance of high cover still remaining there, but good convection up to about 4,000 feet with chance of cumulus. Compare that to Buckingham, for example, where, should we have a look? That's Fairford at 1 o'clock, 4,000 feet again. But compare that to Buckingham at 1 o'clock. Notice the lines are so much further apart, potentially even more sort of mid-level cloud up here between about 11 and 14,000 feet, and again up higher. So yeah, and the convection not going quite so high. So definitely those lines apart, more chance of blue out towards Buckingham and that region. But this is 4 o'clock at Lark Hill, reasonable chance of cumulus, under quite a solid inversion there at about 5,000 feet or so, but still the chance of some high level cloud. So all in all, a reasonable day. Probably not quite as good as yesterday. I did enjoy on my day off watching you all invade Devon, and a few of you, I think, even almost made it into Cornwall. It was quite pleasing to watch. But today, probably just a little bit shorter, but still good none the same for April. Okay, airspace wise, we'll come on to Solent in a moment, but lots and lots of GA activity. I imagine every man and his dog and woman will be out today. The usual danger areas active near Dover, danger air crossing service not available over Salisbury Plain. Parachuting, London Para at Chiltern Park active. Old Sarum is active as well. So the drop zone frequencies are on charts and the AIP. So please do give them a bit of a berth. I can see that Salisbury are active. So yeah, be aware of that. Gliding Middle Wallop. If you do need to land out there, I've been told you might not go to the Garver Room, which is good. Gliding probably at Eyersfield as well down in Dorset. But yeah, generally a reasonable amount of GA activity, I imagine, today. Right, to just Solent, I know I could see on the ladder there was some discussion yesterday about which bits of the Solent is active and not. So today it is a Sunday, so we look at number 8, and so it tells us that this is all in Zulu. Remember, from 12 Zulu to 7 Zulu, the Solent area is active, so 1 till 8 today. So we look at the Solent zone, and we can see Southampton here. All of this area around here is deactivated. Now, Bournemouth is a sort of child unit, if I don't mind me saying, of Solent. They can operate with that. They can operate without Solent because Bournemouth has its own airspace, and you can see that down in the sort of west corner here. My advice, though, is to not really try and use this area over the New Forest. It's not very landable. But sort of west of Bewley, you also get instrument approach traffic, which is trying to land on either 26 to Part 08, Airbus A340s, etc. Probably not very wise to sort of sit on the edge. To have a chat to Bournemouth, they're more than happy to provide a Lars service if need be. The rest of it, before sort of 1 o'clock is fair game. Please, however, do make a blind call on silent radar 120.230, just in case they are just setting up. They will give you a clearance to leave the airspace if they're about to open. And if you've got a transponder, have it on when you're going through there. But yes, that just hopefully clears up some misconceptions. So the silent area is not active until 1 today, but be aware of Bournemouth because they are still very busy. Okay, I don't think there's anything else particularly in the NOTAMs. The period of mourning is now finished at Windsor Castle, so no wraps there anymore for those of you who might motor glide up that way. I think that's it. I would just look at 29. I don't think that's probably Welsh Pool or something. Yes, filming, yeah, Stokesay in Shropshire. So yeah, nothing much else, but remember those parachute drop zones. Might see some balloons today as well, later in the day after the convection's done. Today, so as I said, westerly preference, runway 27. I'm very, very much hoping we're going to stay on that all day. There shouldn't really be any need. Yes, we might see a 5-knot tailwind, but it is very standard at airports to operate in a particular direction. It's good with the noise. It's good against to be not against the trees. So yes, but I will make a broadcast if for some reason the convection changes us to 09, then we will. But I urge you for the next few days to just keep an eye, and if in doubt, I generally have spoken to Andy or Patrick or somebody like that about the grid direction. I may look at a more permanent solution to give you an idea of which runway we're thinking about. But yes, unless it's a proper easterly, don't grid 09. Okay, other than that, busy day on the training. So if I don't see you before the grid launch, have a lovely day. I'm sure I'll see you later today otherwise. Bye for now.